You have cried out and wondered where I am. In the stillness of your room, in the late hours of the night when sleep evades you, you have asked, why is nothing changing? Why am I still in the same place? You have looked around at others rising, doors opening for them, their prayers seemingly answered while yours hang in the air like unanswered echoes. You've watched time pass, feeling left behind, and in that pain, you've whispered through your tears, God, are you even listening? Do you see me? Let me tell you now, with the authority of eternity and the compassion of a father, I have heard every tear, every longing, every question that passed through your spirit in the quiet corners of your life. There is no cry you've uttered that has gone unnoticed. Let me speak clearly to your heart today. I am never late. My ways are not delayed. My hands do not falter. My silence does not mean absence. I do not work according to the ticking of your clock, for I operate beyond time. I am the creator of time itself, and I have never once arrived after the appointed moment. Never. You see only minutes and hours. I see the beginning from the end. While you are pacing the floor asking me to move, I am laying down unseen bricks of purpose. The foundation I build is not shallow. It is eternal. If I moved when you asked, it would comfort you. But when I move in the perfect moment, it will transform you. My intention is not just to answer your request, but to enlarge your capacity to carry what's coming. The world has trained you to expect speed, instant answers, immediate gratification. But I train you for something greater: trust. My plan is not rushed. My purpose is not pressured by panic. When you feel overlooked, I am refining you. When you feel abandoned, I am aligning things around you. When you feel forgotten, I am focusing on your future in ways that exceed your understanding. My delays are not denials. They are divine preparations. They are signs that what I am building is not temporary, but enduring. I am setting the stage not only for your blessing, but for your transformation. I am protecting you from premature promotions that would crush your spirit. I am orchestrating encounters, lessons, and even delays that will mature your faith. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. So be still now. Be present with me. Receive these words not just with your mind, but with your soul. Let my voice silence the doubt. Let my peace flood the chaos. I am not ignoring you. I am not delayed. I am not far. I am your God, and I am never late. Chapter 1. My silence has purpose. When you pray and the answer does not come in the way or time you expected, you begin to doubt. You wonder if I heard you. You wonder if your faith was too small, your past too stained, your hopes too much. You begin to replay every moment, wondering what you could have done differently, if perhaps you missed a sign or failed some unseen test. But let me assure you, my silence is never careless. I am not absent. I am active. My silence is the soil where faith grows roots. It is in the waiting that you are strengthened, shaped, and stretched. It is not a punishment. It is preparation. I know it feels like nothing is happening, but faith is not built on visible signs. It is built on quiet trust. The silence you experience is the space where you learn to lean not on what you see, but on who I am. The delay deepens your dependence. You don't always need an answer. You need assurance, and I am here to give it. My silence speaks if you are willing to listen with your heart. Jesus waited before going to Lazarus. Days passed, grief set in. The people began to whisper, to doubt, to say, if he truly cared, he would have come sooner. But what they didn't know is that resurrection was on the horizon. What seemed like indifference was intentional. What felt like abandonment was divine orchestration. When he arrived, resurrection came, not just for Lazarus, but for the faith of everyone watching. Do not interpret my stillness as my absence. Just as a seed is buried in darkness before it breaks the soil, you too must pass through hidden seasons before the fullness of my promise comes to light. The tomb must sometimes be sealed before it is opened. You may think the door is closed for good, that the end has come. But I tell you, it is only a pause in my story, a comma, not a period. What appears final to man is simply the beginning of my greater work. I could answer immediately, and yes, it would shift your external reality. But I wait, not because I am distant, but because I desire your transformation. I wait because I want to change your heart. I want to strip away the fear that clings, the doubt that clouds, the pride that resists. My delays are filled with mercy. They are the furnace where impurities are burned away and faith is forged. If I answered every prayer on your timeline, your spirit would not grow. You would remain surface deep, never developing the roots needed to stand through storms. You would not learn patience, the steady anchor of the soul. You would not discover peace in the middle of uncertainty, the kind of peace that surpasses understanding. You would not encounter me in the depths of surrender, where your will melts into mine and trust becomes your language. The waiting purifies. It sifts your motives. It separates what you want from what you need. The silence clarifies. It helps you hear my voice with new ears. You begin to distinguish my whisper from the noise of the world. You learn to recognize my leading not by signs alone, but by stillness within. And when I move, you will know, because it will be beyond what you could have orchestrated on your own. It will bear the mark of my hand, and it will be soaked in my grace. So sit with me in the quiet. Let go of the compulsion to strive. Stop trying to fill the space with noise and distraction. Put down the need for constant motion that keeps you from noticing my presence. Turn off the voices that crowd out mine, the opinions, the comparisons, the pressure. In the silence, listen for my whisper. It is not always thunder that announces me. Sometimes it is in the gentle stillness that I am most clearly heard. In the stillness, trust that I am closer than ever. My nearness is not measured by volume or visibility. It is known by faith. I am not late. I am working, even when your eyes see nothing, even when your heart feels heavy, even when your surroundings contradict the promise. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned the promise I made to you. I am preparing you, not just for the blessing, but for the person you are becoming through the process. And when the time is right, what I bring will not just answer your request, it will exceed it. Because that is how I love you, not by rushing, but by perfecting. Chapter 2. Delay is not denial. You thought I said no, but I said not yet. You thought the door was closed, but I was still building the foundation beneath your feet. You saw others walk through their breakthroughs and assumed I had passed over you, as if I had forgotten your name. But I do not forget what I have authored. I do not overlook those I love. My ways are layered beyond comprehension. My timing is not impulsive. It is strategic, eternal, and rooted in wisdom beyond your understanding. What seems like a delay is the space between your readiness and my release. It is the divine interval where transformation takes root. Abraham waited for the promised son. Decades passed. He wrestled with doubt. He made mistakes. But my word never fails. I was faithful then, and I am faithful now. David was anointed king but returned to the fields to tend sheep. His path to the throne was not paved with ease, but with trials that taught him humility, patience, worship, and endurance. He was forged in the shadows long before he wore the crown. My promise stood firm, even when the process felt like a wilderness. And the same is true for you. Your wait is not wasted. I am refining your character, polishing your vision, and cleansing your motives. I am burning away the fear that limits you, fear that keeps you from stepping into the fullness of who I made you to be. I am building endurance that will anchor you when the blessing comes, so you are not shaken by success, overwhelmed by responsibility, or distracted by applause. You have asked for much, so I must grow much within you. The deeper the call, the deeper the preparation. I do not withhold out of cruelty. I withhold until the blessing will no longer break you, but bless others through you. I love you too much to hand you something prematurely. I would rather you walk slowly into destiny than rush into ruin. I am more interested in the depth of your soul than the speed of your success. A shallow foundation cannot sustain a tall structure. I am laying each stone with precision, carving each lesson with purpose. I am more concerned with who you become than how fast you arrive. I know how to take you there, but I also know what you need to learn on the way. There are things I must extract from your heart: bitterness, insecurity, pride, impatience, fear of man, so that what I give you won't be mishandled or misused. I am not just preparing a destination, I am preparing a vessel. Delay is not a dead end. It is my design. It is the sacred space where your roots grow deeper, where your spirit becomes unshakable, where your identity is solidified not in what you do, but in who I say you are. When everything around you seems still and unmoving, I am still working under the surface. I am not idle. I am crafting your foundation to carry more than you imagined. The deeper I dig now, the higher you will rise later. I am not only working on your future, I am working on your faith. I am anchoring you to me, not to outcomes. Your trust must be in my character, not just in my timing. I am training your eyes to look beyond the visible, to see beyond what appears to be a delay, and your heart to trust even when understanding fades and logic fails. Do not despise the space where nothing seems to be happening, for in that very space I am doing my most intimate work within you. I am chiseling away old habits, healing wounds you tried to bury, revealing truths you need to hold on to. This stillness is not emptiness. It is sacred ground. It is where I meet you with whispers that would be drowned out by a hurried life. It is where I reintroduce you to who you are in me and who I am in you. I know the full picture. I see what is hidden. I see the dangers you do not see, the hidden snares and unseen storms, the people not yet ready, the doors that look open but would harm you if entered too soon. I know what you will face tomorrow, and I know what you'll need 10 years from now. I am equipping you not just for a moment of success, but for a lifelong mission of purpose and impact. You were not made for comfort. You were made for impact. You were not formed in my image just to survive. You were made to carry my presence, to reflect my love, and to live with unshakable peace in a shaking world. Every moment of waiting has purpose. Every sigh, every tear, every unspoken longing is known to me, counted and treasured, never wasted. You are not forgotten in the pause. You are held in my hand, being readied with love. Trust me to paint it in the right time. Trust me not just with the result, but with the process. I am the master artist, and I do not rush my strokes. My brush never slips. I use shadows as skillfully as I use light. Trust me to make it beautiful in its season. The canvas may look unfinished now, but wait until I reveal the masterpiece. I promise it will be worth every second you trusted me in the dark. You will not be disappointed in how I deliver what I promised. Chapter 3. I am not bound by your clock. You look at calendars and clocks. You feel the weight of deadlines, the pressure of age, the fear of time running out. You count the years, the missed opportunities, the milestones that haven't come. You compare your pace to those around you and assume you're behind. But I do not operate on your schedule. I am not limited by your understanding of time. I exist outside of time, and I write eternity into every second. I hold past, present, and future in my hand. What you call late, I call right on time. What you call delay, I call divine alignment, a sacred pause where all things are coming together for good. When Jesus was asked to heal Jairus' daughter, he paused to heal the woman with the issue of blood. That moment, to everyone else, looked like a distraction. But I do not multitask, I orchestrate. While others were focused on urgency, I was focused on wholeness. That woman had waited 12 years for healing, and that day was appointed before she was born. To those watching, it seemed like an interruption. But I was writing a story that revealed my mercy, my timing, and my perfect coordination of every life. While others said the child was dead, Jesus said, "She is only sleeping." They mocked him because they could only see death. But I see beyond the moment. The world says, "It's too late." I say, "Watch what I can do." My power does not diminish with time. I do not weaken as the clock ticks. I am not worn down by the passing of years, nor am I hurried by the ticking of minutes. My promises do not expire. They are as fresh and potent today as the moment I first declared them. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My plan does not crumble under pressure. It stands firm amid the storms, unmoved by the shifting winds of human fear or doubt. My purposes are eternal, not temporary. I see beyond the limits you perceive, and I execute my will with absolute precision. I am not moved by your deadlines. I move by design. I am never scrambling to adjust. I am never rushing to compensate. I am never guessing about outcomes. I do not improvise. I implement. I do not react to time. I reign over it. I do not watch the clock. I hold it. I am the one who set the stars in motion, who ordained the rising and setting of the sun. Time obeys me, not the other way around. I work through seasons, through generations, through lifetimes, and still, I am always on time. My movements are deliberate, not delayed. And when I move, it will be evident that it was me. The moment will be unmistakable. The shift will be sudden. You won't need to strive to explain it. You won't have to justify or rationalize what has happened. No man will be able to take credit. No resume, no strategy, no favor from others will be able to claim responsibility. My glory will be evident. My fingerprint will be all over it. No plan will seem clever enough to explain it. No logic will fully contain the magnitude of what I have done. No explanation will suffice except this: God did it. It will be beyond human logic, beyond calculated plans, beyond the most elaborate strategies. It will surpass anything you imagined. And when I do it, it will be unmistakably divine, undeniably on time, and perfectly complete in its arrival and its impact. It won't just meet a need, it will restore your soul. It won't just solve a problem, it will testify to my glory. I will redeem the time, restore the years, and exceed the dreams you thought were buried. You will look back and realize that every second of waiting, every ounce of tension, every trial of faith led to this moment with divine purpose. The sleepless nights, the prayers whispered through tears, the quiet obedience when no one saw, none of it was wasted. You will see that the delays weren't denials, but divine detours that led you closer to me, refined your heart, and prepared you for a destiny far greater than the one you once imagined. You will see that my timing was not just accurate, it was holy, sacred, and deliberately chosen for your good and my glory. My deliverance will not just arrive, it will arrive in such a way that you know, beyond doubt, it could have only come from me. The doors will open not because of connections, but because of covenant. The answer will come not because of luck, but because of love. You will not just feel relief, you will feel reverence. You will fall to your knees, not only in gratitude but in awe, declaring that I was faithful through it all. And you will say with full confidence, joy, and wonder, God was never late. He was exactly right. His timing was flawless, and his love never failed. Chapter 4. I prepare you before I position you. Before you walk into the place I've promised, I must shape you into the person who can remain there. This is not punishment. It is love in its purest form. A father refusing to send his child unprepared into a battlefield. You ask me to use you greatly, to bless you abundantly, to trust you with much. But how can I do that if your character is not yet rooted deeply enough to carry the weight? I will not place crowns on heads not yet strong enough to wear them. I care more about your becoming than your arriving. You want the influence, but I want you to first carry integrity. You ask for promotion, but I am more concerned with your purity. The platform you seek can either elevate you or expose you. And I love you too much to let success destroy what humility was meant to protect. The weight of the blessing must rest on shoulders that have learned to bend in surrender and stand in faith. Until then, I will continue to shape you. Joseph had dreams of leadership, but first came the pit, the prison, and betrayal. He endured loss, abandonment, and injustice, but each step was preparation. Each moment was pruning. Each hardship became a holy tool in my hand. I do not promote without process. I do not entrust without refinement. I am not just trying to get you to the destination. I am trying to mold your soul in the journey. I care about the kind of leader you become, not just the position you reach. What you call delay, I call development. What you see as waiting, I see as deep, soul-level training. Do not rush past the lesson. Sit with it. Let it teach you, stretch you, humble you. Let it press into the hidden corners of your heart and draw out what needs to be refined. The waiting is not idle. It is sacred instruction. Wisdom is often not shouted in moments of victory, but whispered in seasons of surrender. The fires you face are not there to destroy you, but to illuminate what is eternal. Embrace the chiseling. Embrace the shaping. Every time you bend under pressure, I am making you stronger. Every time you feel stretched beyond your limits, I am enlarging your capacity. Every scar you carry is a marker of growth, not shame. Do not despise the shaping, for the vessel that resists the potter's hands risks being cracked under pressure. Let me shape you with the gentleness of grace and the precision of love. Let me work through the moments you do not understand. Every trial is forging strength that cannot be taught in comfort. You don't grow stronger by avoiding adversity. You grow by leaning into me within it. Every disappointment is digging deeper faith, anchoring you in a hope that cannot be shaken. A hope not built on outcomes, but on the unchanging nature of who I am. Every unseen moment is a divine classroom. You may not feel like you're learning, but the spirit within you is absorbing, growing, maturing. I am both teacher and companion. I am beside you with every tear, every surrender, every small step forward. I am not only instructing you, I am walking through the lesson with you. I am refining your trust, enlarging your wisdom, and stretching your compassion so that you may not only receive my blessing, but steward it well. Trust that I see what you do not. I see the people you're called to reach, the storms you'll face, the doors you'll open, and the burdens you'll carry. I am building resilience in your spirit, clarity in your vision, and love in your voice. And I am shaping you not for survival, but for legacy. You are not just being prepared to pass through a season, but to transform it. I am not punishing you. I am preparing you for the weight of what I've designed you to carry. I am not withholding to wound you. I am maturing you so that when you arrive, you will not only endure, you will flourish. For you will carry me with every step and reflect me in every season. Chapter 5. When I move, everything changes. There will come a day when the door opens, the breakthrough arrives, the healing floods in, the answer comes, and it will be sudden. It will feel like everything changed in a moment, but you will know it was being built long before you saw it. What felt like a lifetime of waiting will shift in an instant, like a tide that rushes in after years of drought. The walls you thought would never fall will crumble. The chains you believed would never break will shatter. And in that moment, you will see with spiritual clarity what you couldn't see through your tears. Why I had you wait. You will understand why I closed that door. You will see how I wove the pain into purpose, how every no protected you, how every delay refined you, and how every unanswered prayer prepared you for something far better than what you had in mind. I do not move piece by piece. I move in fullness. I do not tease you with glimpses and hold back my hand. I am not a God of fragments. I am a God of abundance. When the time is right, my hand will be undeniable. No obstacle will stand. No enemy will prevail. I have not forgotten what I promised. I do not misplace destiny. I do not overlook what I have declared over you. I do not need reminders. I wrote your name into my plan before time began. I knew your story when the stars were first hung in the sky. Every second, every breath, every tear was known to me, counted and cherished. You have never been out of my sight, never outside my love, never beneath my notice. When I move, it will not be to simply comfort you. It will be to complete something in you. The work I began quietly in the hidden places of your soul, away from the spotlight and the applause, will burst forth in power for all to see. The transformation that took root in darkness will bloom in the light. You will rise with new strength, strength not born from ease, but forged through adversity. You will not rise to merely survive. You will rise to lead, to lift others, to be a light in places still waiting for their breakthrough. You will rise with new wisdom, born not from theories or second-hand stories, but from your own deep and intimate walk with me through the valleys. It is one thing to recite truth. It is another to embody it. You will speak with authority, not because you sought influence, but because you submitted in obscurity. You will rise with new clarity, seeing not only where you're going, but understanding deeply why the journey was necessary. You will understand that every step had purpose. Every detour was my direction. Every delay was a divine design. You will speak from testimony, not theory. You will speak from scars, not scripts. You will speak with the authority of one who has waited well, who has trusted deeply, who has endured in the wilderness without letting go of my hand. and your words will carry weight, not because they are eloquent, but because they are honest, because they are born from fire-tested faith. You will not need to convince anyone of what I've done. They will see it in your eyes, hear it in your voice, and feel it in your presence. And you will know, deep in your soul, in the marrow of your bones, in the rhythm of your breath, that I was with you all along. You will feel my presence not only behind you in the past, but in you and around you in every present moment. You will remember the nights when you thought I was silent, and now you will see they were filled with my preparation. That I was working when you were weeping. That I was faithful when the world was silent. That while you waited, I was weaving glory from your groans. And you will declare without doubt, without hesitation, without apology, and with tears of reverence and joy, my God is never late. He was right on time, and his timing made all things new, not just around me, but within me. Chapter 6. My promise holds, even in the pause. There are moments when you feel as though my promises have stalled. You begin to question if you heard me right. You wonder if you misread the signs or misinterpreted the whisper. But let me remind you, my promise is not fragile. It does not vanish in the silence, nor dissolve under the weight of time. My word is anchored in my nature, and I do not change. What I said, I will do. What I've spoken, I will bring to pass. Not one word I've declared over you has fallen to the ground. Even in the pause, my promise holds firm. You are living through the middle chapters, the part of the story where tension rises and clarity feels distant. But even here, I am working. My plans are unfolding even in ways you cannot perceive. The middle is messy, but it is necessary. It's where endurance is forged, where vision is refined, and where intimacy with me grows deepest. Do not mistake a pause for a full stop. A farmer waits in faith after planting. He trusts the unseen work beneath the soil. You too must trust the quiet seasons where my hand seems hidden but is never absent. I want you to believe in my promise, not because of signs alone, but because of your trust in who I am. I am faithful, even when you don't feel fruitful. I am present, even when I feel distant. Your circumstances are not the judge of my character. Let the delay deepen your conviction. Let the waiting anchor your faith, not weaken it. I am the same God who began this journey with you, and I will finish it. Stand on what I've said. Speak it aloud. Declare it when it's hard to believe. Speak light into darkness. Speak hope into the void. My promise is alive. It is working. It is waiting for its appointed time. And in that time, nothing can stop what I've ordained. Not fear, not failure, not even your past. My promise is greater than your mistakes and stronger than your confusion. You don't need to carry the full picture. You just need to carry the faith to take the next step. And when it comes to pass, and it will, you will remember the silence not as absence, but as the place where your roots grew deep. You will see that I never abandoned you. I only led you deeper. And you will testify with certainty, even when everything stood still, God's promise never stopped moving. Chapter 7. I am mastering the details you cannot see. There are layers to my work that you may never see, conversations about you that you will never hear, protections you didn't know you needed, and alignments you didn't know I was orchestrating. I am not just preparing a moment for you. I am preparing people, places, opportunities, and divine intersections that fit together in perfect harmony. When it seems like nothing is happening, I am working through the complexities, that will make everything happen exactly as it should. You see the surface, but I work beneath it. You notice delays and detours, but I see the invisible framework I'm building behind the scenes. Divine arrangements that have to be set into motion in just the right sequence. You see a pause. I see precision. You feel forgotten, but I am fitting pieces together that go far beyond what your eyes can see. You see delays, but I see the movement of hundreds of unseen details converging to form a breakthrough that will bless not just you, but others through you. My plan is not just about your success. It's about your impact. It's about the ripple effect your obedience will cause. I am not only answering your prayer, I am weaving your obedience into the lives of those connected to your calling. The connections I'm crafting now will carry generational weight. Think of Joseph. Not only was he positioned to save Egypt, but his obedience fed nations, reconciled his family, and preserved the lineage of a promise. If Joseph had arrived too early, he wouldn't have been ready. If the famine had struck too soon, the impact wouldn't have aligned. But I timed every moment for maximum redemption. My ways are generational. I plan beyond a single event. I orchestrate through eternity's lens. Every move I make reaches beyond one outcome to touch countless others. This is why I do not rush. This is why I do not reveal everything at once. If I showed you all the ways I am weaving details for your good, if I pulled back the curtain even for a moment, you would fall on your face in awe. You would be overwhelmed by my intentionality. So trust that I am in the details. Trust that I see what you do not. Every delay, every disappointment, every closed door is part of a far greater tapestry. I am not wasteful with your time. I am purposeful with every second. I am intentional with your preparation because I know the pressures that will come with your promotion. I am calculating every intersection with care, timing divine meetings, canceling harmful paths, delaying opportunities that would destroy you if they came too soon. Even the pain will have a place in the plan. Even the tears will water the ground I will bring fruit from. The soil of suffering will one day produce a harvest of compassion, wisdom, and boldness. Nothing you have endured will be wasted when placed in my hands. When you look back, you will see the fingerprints of heaven on every page. You will see the hand of God in every delay and every detour. You will see how I turned what others meant for harm into doors of purpose. You will remember the seasons where you thought I was distant and realize they were when I was closest. And you will understand that I was not just moving slowly. I was moving thoroughly. I was moving with intention. I was preparing more than you imagined. I was loving you deeper than you realized. I was orchestrating something beautiful, and I did not miss a single detail. Not one. Chapter 8. I have not forgotten you. When days blur into months and prayers seem to echo into the void, you may wonder if I've turned my face away. You may even think I've forgotten you. But let me assure you, I cannot forget what I formed. I do not overlook those I've breathed life into. You are not lost in a crowd. You are not just one voice among many. You are mine, and every detail of your life is held in my eternal memory, not a single part neglected. I remember your first breath. I remember every joy and every sorrow. You were knit together with intention and with love, and I do not misplace what I create. Even when you can't feel me, I am near. Even when you're exhausted from believing, I am still sustaining you. I am the breath in your lungs, the strength in your weakness, the whisper in your chaos. My silence is not distance. It is often the preparation of something so much greater than you expect. You are not waiting alone. You are waiting with me. I bottle every tear. I record every step. I understand every sigh. I walk with you through every valley. I rejoice with you in every small step forward. The enemy wants you to believe you've been abandoned, but I have engraved you on the palm of my hand. I see you. I know you. I am with you in ways more profound than you realize. I want you to stop measuring your worth by how visible your progress is. You are not defined by what others can see or validate. Stop thinking I am only working when you see results. Some of my greatest moves are made in the background, in places no eye can see, no applause is heard. I move in the quiet, in the still, in the deep. You are never outside my reach. No pit is too dark, no night too long, no road too hidden. I am always working, even when you do not feel it, and no matter how slow it seems, you are still moving forward in my plan. Step by step, breath by breath. I am guiding you. Hold on to this truth. You have not been forgotten. Not for a second. Not in the darkest hour, not in the quietest pain, not in the longest wait. You have not been set aside. You have been set apart. There is a difference. Being set aside implies rejection, but being set apart means you are chosen for something sacred, something prepared, something profound. Your name is written in heaven, etched in glory, sealed by the love of the one who spoke galaxies into existence and still calls you beloved. Your story is still unfolding with divine precision. Not one line is wasted. Not one chapter is accidental. I have not missed a single chapter, not the ones filled with joy, nor the ones lined with sorrow. I read every word. I hold every sentence. I stand at every turning point. The world may move on, overlook you, misjudge your worth, but I remain constant. I remain engaged. I remain present. My love does not waver with seasons. It is not dependent on outcomes. It does not increase when you perform well, nor decrease when you stumble. It is fixed forever. I have not let go, not in the silence, not in the confusion, not even when you tried to let go of me. I have not changed my mind about you. I have not retracted my promises, nor revised my plan. My calling is irrevocable. What I have spoken over your life will come to pass. It may not look like what you imagined, but it will be far better than what you would have settled for. It will reflect my wisdom, not just your desires. My love for you is not tied to outcomes. It is anchored in my eternal nature. My love is your anchor in the storm, your compass in the unknown, your shelter in the waiting. And when the time is right, when the moment arrives that has been prepared from the beginning, you will see that I have always been with you. You will see that my guidance was perfect, even when it felt invisible. You will understand why I allowed the pauses, the detours, the lessons. You will look back and recognize that my hand was never off your life. I was guiding, protecting, shaping, stretching, and loving you with a faithfulness that never failed and never will. Chapter 9. I am still writing your story. You see a page, I see the whole book. You see a chapter of confusion and assume the story is falling apart. But I am the author and the finisher of your faith. I am not just starting a story. I am finishing it with beauty and power. The parts that seem out of place are only incomplete scenes in a masterpiece you've yet to witness. I write with purpose. I edit with wisdom. I know how to take what's broken and shape it into something glorious. Even your pain is not wasted. The wounds you thought disqualified you will become the places my glory shines the brightest. I am not ashamed of your past. I redeem it. I am not afraid of your struggle. I walk with you through it. Nothing is too far gone for my pen to restore. You don't have to understand every twist and turn. You only need to trust that the hand holding the pen is good. I don't write stories of despair. I write stories of redemption. I don't write endings of failure. I write resurrections. Your story is still in motion. Do not close the book just because you don't like this chapter. Keep reading, keep walking, keep trusting. You are not finished. I am still creating, still shaping, still bringing light out of shadow. And when you reach the ending I've written, it will make sense. It will bring joy. It will reflect my glory and your growth. And you will say with wonder in your heart, God was faithful in every line. Chapter 10. I am never late. This is what I want you to carry forward. I am never late. Not once have I missed the moment. Not once have I forgotten a promise. Not once have I abandoned a child I love. My ways are above yours, my thoughts beyond comprehension, but my heart is always towards you. You may not have understood my silence, but now you see it was love. You may not have liked the waiting, but now you see it was growth. I did not come when you wanted. I came when you needed me most. Every season of pain had purpose. Every delay was divine. Every tear watered the garden of transformation. And now you are stronger, wiser, closer to me. You are not who you were when this began. You've changed, not because time passed, but because I shaped you in it. I have never been late, and I never will be. Let these words be written on your heart. My timing is perfect. Trust me not just with your past, but with your future. Trust that the same God who carried you here will carry you onward. I am not done. I am just getting started. And everything you've waited for, everything you've prayed for, will be answered in a way more beautiful than you could imagine. I love you. I've always loved you. I am never late.